share with others. It is What in the World is Going On with Rob Carson. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of video clips and other stuff as well. So, let's get this thing started, shall we? Yeah, I think we shall. All right, welcome to another edition of What in the World is Going On. I am Rob Carson. Glad to have you here today as I adjust my volume levels and say hello. And wish you, for those of you watching live, a happy Friday. Hope everything's going well for you. Hope you had a great week. I know last week was, of course, the 4th of July. And, the 4th of weekend, which is kind of nice. And here we are once again. We are broadcasting live on Facebook. So I'm very glad to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can maybe increase the stream here, make it a little bit better, because I was recording and I'm using a little bit of CPU. So anyway, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Marty Lawrence has already joined us today, so thank you, Marty. Glad to have you here. Please share with other people what's going on, because there's much to talk about. I do want to mention something real quick here. I am going to be returning to the airwaves on the radio, at least just for a week, or at least a day, on KFYI in Phoenix. That's going to be on Thursday. For those of you who are going to listen, it's from 6 to 9 Central Standard Time. All right? So 4 to 7 Mountain Time. And so I'm going to be joining there. Yeah, it's going to be nice to get back on. Great radio station, and I owe Aaron Tremor a big debt of gratitude for allowing me to join on the air that day. So it's going to be really, really cool. Really, really cool. All right, so let's get started here. I guess the big news of the day is that Miley Cyrus isn't going to have babies. Yeah, I know. You know, hi, Linda in Idaho. Miley Cyrus is not going to have babies. So basically the property values in the United States just increased dramatically. Just having her say that there won't be any of her offspring around, it might even cause the markets to tick upward. She did an interview with Elle magazine. She's 26 years old. Dear God, she's only 26 years old. She married Liam Hemsworth, the guy who plays Thor, in December. She refuses to reproduce until we live on an earth with fish in the water. I'm pretty much sure. Oh, my volume. How about now? Is that better? Let me turn on my headphones. Is that better there, Linda? Is that better? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How about now? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that sound better? Linda, go ahead and give me some feedback here. Just tell me if it's sounding okay. All right. I might just turn this up over here real quick and hear what it sounds like. Okay. So does that sound better, Linda? If so, I hope so. Anyway, the fish already live in the water. I don't know if she knew that, but fish live in the water, yeah. Pop star combined talk of environmentalism with feminism. Instead of Mother Nature, when she's angry, don't F with her. That's the way that I feel women are like right now. The earth is angry. We've been doing the same thing to the earth that we do to women. I'm not sure. Thomas. Let's go to Outlaw, dude. Let's do it, man. I am so up for it. Let's do it next week. Okay? Outlaw Cigar. Anyway, she says, we just take and expect it to keep producing, and it's exhausted. It can't produce. We're getting handed a piece of SH Planet, and I refuse to hand that down to my child. This is so awesome that she's not going to breed. I mean, this is pretty exciting, right? This is pretty fun. Until I feel like my kid would live on an earth with fish in the water, which, I mean, there are fish in the water, and there are a lot of them. There are billions of them, actually. I'm not bringing a person to deal with that. We don't want to reproduce because we know that the earth can't handle it. This is so convoluted and just so very millennial of her. Just very, very millennial of her. Wow. I honestly, I don't even know what to say. So she's not going to have babies. I'm done with her. AOC back in the news, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not going to say Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. But she is basically saying that the detention centers that are on our border, and by the way, if you cross the border to Mexico and you get detained, you're going to be thrown in a pound your rear end prison, by the way. Here you get brought in and given 3 hots and a cot. And I got to tell you, I haven't been to Guatemala, but I got to imagine drinking out of a combination toilet and then drinking fountain is a whole lot better than drinking out of a mud puddle. That said, I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. The Democrat Party, or at least some in the Democrat Party, have managed to completely demonize a department of the federal government, which is about enforcing immigration, which you have to do as a sovereign nation. Okay? The people who protect our border, protect us from those unsavory elements coming across the border, MS-13, gang members, drug dealers, etc., and they managed to demonize them. Why don't they demonize the real jackbooted thugs in the IRS? Or to some degree in the DOJ? And in some degree in the FBI? Those who went after Donald Trump and his campaign and his transition team. Okay, well, why don't we demonize those people? It's disgusting. These are hardworking people. They are not Nazi concentration guards. Okay, they are not Nazi concentration camp guards. They are people with families. They are people who are protecting us. We are a sovereign nation. This is what sovereignty is all about. It started in feudal times with serfs and kings. That when warring parties or factions came, the people could retreat behind the walls of the castle. That's what we live in, a cruel world, kids. We live in a cruel world where a lot of people like to kill you, your kids, and take our real estate. That's just the way it is. It's no different than it's ever been. But of course, people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have demonized them. And Bob Green, how you doing, buddy? How's the Perchy Creek Yacht Club? I miss you guys in Columbia, although I know you don't live in Columbia anymore. Thanks for joining me. She was accompanied on Capitol Hill by 2 members of her squad. Congressman Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley. She stood to take the oath in front of a congressional committee to talk about how she had said that she went down to the border and had basically had been told apparently that women were forced to drink out of toilets down there. I guess the guys haven't had to drink out of toilets in the detention centers. But anyway, some women told her apparently that they were drinking out of toilets. Now, there's a toilet and sink combination. I showed you that. And so I guess there's that. But she wanted to grandstand, and she wanted to take the oath, even though she did not need to. Here she is, taking the oath in front of Elijah Cummings, who is another just giant flaming moron, swearing in to tell everybody that our immigration enforcement people and the people in charge of the detention centers are forcing women to drink out of toilets.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ocasio-Cortez.
Mr. Chair, I would like to be sworn in.
I'm sorry?
I would like to be sworn in.
Oh, all right. We usually don't require a swearing in, but you want to be sworn in? Fine.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Do you stand up, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony?
You know this was planned. You know that you want to be sworn in? Well, that's certainly odd. That never happens before, but I guess we'll go ahead and do it.
Testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
You may be seated. Let the record reflect that Ms. Ocasio-Cortez answered in the affirmative.
So she's sworn to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, did the women at the border who were making this up, did they swear to tell the truth? Or were they telling the truth? Or was it a talking point? Now, the entire fiasco at the border started in the Obama administration with DACA, okay? Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Then it was going to become PACA for parents of childhood arrivals. That's what was going to happen. But 26 Republican governors sued the federal government and stopped it, because that would have been chain migration. And Barack Obama left office, and the caravans began to happen under Donald Trump's watch. This is the fuse that he lit before he left office. These people who are coming across our border have been told that they are welcome here. They have been given talking points. They are being given legal advice by Democrats. Okay, all of this stuff, it's true. Legal advice on how to get in and talking points. And you know that these people are given talking points at these facilities or before they got in. They're forcing us to drink out of toilets. They're forcing us to whatever. These are talking points. And this is all for naught. They want to shut down. The Democrat Party wants to shut down our borders. They want to stop illegal immigrant detention. You can't have a country without borders. You cannot have a country without borders. And what's really insulting about this, and hi, Carol Davis, how are you? And how, John Sherwood, how are you? Thank you for joining. No other country in the world is expected to do this. Donna says, yeah, it was staged. It is. All of this is staged, Donna. All of this has been planned. But you know what? Here's the amazing thing. Do you know what percentage of the American people believe that we should have open borders? About 18%. Those people are mentally ill. And do you think that's going to resonate in 2020? If you do, I want the Democrats to continue down this road. I want them to continue down this road because it is not a popular movement. It is only endorsed by the radical left in this country. Most of America is still proud of the country. Most of America still wants America to be America. Most of the people in the country want people to come here, who want to be here, who want to assimilate, who want to be citizens, who want to live the American dream, because the American dream is still there, kids. It's still there. It's still there. This country is the greatest engine of economic and individual freedom in the history of mankind, and I am so sick and tired of America being bitch-slapped by the left. Sick and tired of it. If you'd like to, give me some emojis on screen. Give me some thumbs up. Also, do me a favor, share with other people right now. So we're going to be here for a little while, all right? A little while. This is kind of funny. This happened at the White House today. There was a big confab, if you will, a confab with regard to conservative publishers. Now, let me explain something to you guys. I'm still on Facebook. The network that I was on that had 30 Facebook pages and 19 million people reached was shut down on October the 11th of last year because we were conservative. I have been, thanks for the emojis, I have been able to stay on, and I can't guarantee I'm going to be here very long, but I've been able to continue to go on. I can't boost this show, all right? So I can do this show, and I can post it to several places, but I can't boost it on Facebook. I can't spend my own money to promote this show because it's political and it's conservative. Did you know that? They reject my ads. They reject my ads. Like, for instance, these T-shirts up here. This is my T-shirts. tpublic.com, Conservatees. Just go there. tpublic.com. Look up Conservatees. I can't promote these on Facebook. I can't buy ads to promote these shirts. They will not accept them because they are conservative and they're political. I know, right? So only thing I can ask you to do is to maybe promote this, share this with others, because we got some killer-ass designs. We've got some killer designs like Hillary in 20 Never. I should be selling the crap out of these. Look at it. Veganism is an eating disorder. Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. I've got 85 or so designs. Facebook won't allow me to promote them, and they won't allow me to promote my show. So all I can expect is maybe you'll share it with other people. You'll share it with other people before they shut me down like they shut down my network. I was getting 40, 80,000 views per episode. More than 1 million people reached a month. Facebook shut us down. Terry Littlepage, the guy who created the whole thing, he spent over $250,000 for reach. And it was like taking a contract and tearing it up. Lost everything. Range Broadcasting, if you go to rangebroadcasting.com, that's the network. That's where my brothers and sisters in this fight are located. Just Google Range Broadcasting, okay? And sign up. Hi, John Sweeney. Hello, Lisa Dawn. Anyway, yesterday, I should say, they had a social media summit at the White House. And there are some people there who obviously are very successful. Sebastian Gorka, one of them, he's a consultant, I guess, with the Clinton administration, talk show host, conservative broadcaster. Some other people were there. My buddy Dan Bongino was there, who's done quite well for himself. I was the first person to put him on the radio in Washington, D.C., and he's kicked my ass completely career-wise, but things are changing. Thank you, John, for sharing. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, Sebastian Gorka, as I had mentioned, of course, and I like Diamond and Silk. I don't consider them intellectual giants, but they've got a great shtick, and they're enjoyable to watch. Joy Villa is a former bondage model who wears pro-Trump dresses to red carpet. I have to Google that. I mean, just because I think she's such a conservative firebrand. Let's see, James O'Keefe was there. Project Veritas, Lila Rose, founder of Live Action. She's been banned from Twitter for her pro-life stuff. Becky, marketing director for PragerU. All of those guys were here. And apparently this guy who he writes for Playboy, a White House correspondent for Playboy. You want to talk about a worthless position. Can you imagine being a White House correspondent for Playboy? Come on. You know the joke about the articles. And who the hell reads Playboy anymore? Seriously. Who reads Playboy? Do you? No. So this guy who writes for Playboy, he writes for I'm sorry. There's still people who work for Playboy magazine. Dear God. His name's Brian Karam. He was caught inciting violence, apparently. He wanted to pick on some of the social media bloggers there, the conservatives who were there. Basically he said, he pointed to them and said they're a group of people that are eager for demonic possession. Don't know what that is. And Gorka shouted, "You are a journalist, right?" Here is Gorka confronting the journalist for Playboy. I know. Playboy's still around, I guess. Whatever.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
No, I'm just standing alone. This is a group of people that are eager for demonic.
You're a journalist, right? That's right.
Hey, come on over here and talk to me, brother. We can go outside and have a long conversation.
You're threatening me now in the White House. In the Rose Garden. You're threatening me in the Rose Garden. Get him. You are a punk. You're not a journalist. You're a punk.
Go home. Journalist, go home.
Listen, here's the threat.
Hey, come on over here and talk to me, brother. We can go outside and have a long conversation.
Wink, wink. We can go outside and have a long conversation. Okay. That is essentially saying, let's step outside. And then Gorka, of course, approaches him. And only Gorka could get away with the chain there and the vest. That just takes a cool kind of guy to be able to wear that. Whoa, Thomas says, little known fact, Sebastian Gorka was one of my instructors at JFK Special Warfare Center in school. That is so badass. And John, I know it's not a magazine anymore. It's obviously, most magazines are not magazines anymore. They're pretty much online. I mean, I've heard there's this thing called prawn or something where women are naked on the interweb. Prawn, or is it porn? I've heard of it, never seen it before. So, Playboy, really Playboy. So here's a little bit more, because not only Gorka confronted him after he threatened him in the Rose Garden, which was really classy. I mean, just really, really classy. But here's the whole exchange, and then afterwards, Gorka, after Gorka confronted him, him denying that he was actually threatening Gorka.
You're threatening me now in the White House. In the Rose Garden. You're threatening me in the Rose Garden. You are a punk. You're not a journalist. You're a punk.
Okay, so here he is. Gorka's moved on. And I figured out the volume problem, by the way. My daughter turned down the volume on my computer. So Secret Service is talking to him there. You see that? This doof from Playboy. You really want to mess? You really want to... Here you say, basically, he didn't threaten anybody.
I'm on the same team. Thank you. We're both journalists, man.
James O'Keefe right there.
Investigative reporters. All I ask is do your job. Just don't attack the character of people who are trying to do this.
I'm not attacking anybody.
Because we're on the same team.
I'm just asking questions.
We're on the same team.
I'm just asking.
Don't have a disagreement.
And I respect you guys. Just don't attack the character.
Hey, don't dance and we're fine.
We're all journalists. We're on the same team.
I agree with that.
Oh, there's Joy Villa. She's a bondage model. I've heard.
None of us want to hear it, guys. None of us want to talk to you. The president doesn't. We don't need to have that. We just have our voice. We have an unbiased opinion. Journalism is not. That is journalism.
Okay, here we go. Mental masturbation about journalism. Whatever. And she's famous because she's hot, and she showed up at an award ceremony wearing a Trump. I think she was at the Oscars. Is that what it was? She was at the Oscars and she wore the Trump thing. I wish I could get famous by just posing naked on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. Well, not Facebook, Instagram. You wouldn't want to see that. Although I do work out, ladies. I do work out. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about OAC's Green New Deal, which is a catastrophic joke, $100 trillion debacle. That money doesn't exist. Okay? That money does not exist. That amount of money does not exist. There's no. I mean, you can dream about it all you want. You can say that the money exists, but I got to tell you, the money does not exist. In that amount of money, $100 trillion for this Green New Deal does not exist. It cannot be made. It cannot be printed. It cannot be earned. It cannot happen. Paul Bedard wrote a piece in the Washington Times, and I love Paul Bedard. He says that supporting the Green New Deal could mean an increase to $10 a gallon on a single gallon of gas. That's nothing, okay? Maybe up to $13 a gas, because part of dollars per gallon of gas. And the reason being is because they want to move people into electric vehicles, okay? So that's their goal. Brett Everett, formerly an economist at the Department of Energy and currently a professor at Tufts University, Fletcher School, said the carbon tax would have to rise to $13 per gallon in order to make electric cars desirable to consumers. So there you go. Making a shit sandwich palatable by overpricing the BLT. You know what? If we make this BLT $50, people will eat this crap sandwich. They will. They'll eat this crap sandwich if we make this BLT too expensive. I think that is a perfect analogy. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like to be braggadocious, but that was a perfect analogy. And this is interesting because here's the essence of the Green New Deal, the essence of global warming, climate change, and all that. This is the truth exposed by someone who works with AOC, accidentally. Sekat Chakrabarti. Nailed it. Chief of Staff and former campaign mastermind for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Campaign mastermind. She had 18,000 votes. I wouldn't say that's being a mastermind. You could win mayor of South Bend with 18,000 votes. Apparently, there was an unexpected disclosure. The Washington Post reported that this guy, he said, the interesting thing about the Green New Deal is it wasn't originally a climate thing at all. Do you guys really think of it as a climate thing? Because we really think of it as a how to change the entire economy thing. Ding, ding, ding. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. That's what socialism is all about. That's what this is. That's what taking over the medicine is. It's about command and control, the economy, people's livelihoods, their lives. That's what it's all about. And they use it under the guise of the government's going to take care of you with health care, and we're going to save the environment and save the planet. And Miley Cyrus isn't going to have children. Yes! Furthermore, he said that through transparent and inclusive consultation, collaboration, and partnership with frontline and vulnerable communities, labor unions, worker cooperatives, civil society groups, academia, and businesses, they will proceed with that. The Green New Deal also requires a guarantee, a job with a family-sustaining wage. You got to have work, and you got to have a product, and you got to make something. Then you got to sell something. That's not possible. Adequate family and medical leave, paid vacations, and retirement security to all people. This includes illegals of the United States. It will also provide high-quality health care, sure. Affordable, safe, and adequate housing. And look at what the government does with government housing. I mean, supreme. Look at the VA. It's perfect, right? and health and affordable food, and it bans unfair domination and competition from monopolies, except the state, of course. All right. By the way, where are you watching? I know we got some people from Idaho and other places watching. Where are you watching today? I'd like to know. Did you see, Megan Rapinoe? She's the soccer star for the U.S. Olympic team, and not Olympic team, the U.S. Women's World Cup team. And she's very vocal, and the reason why she and nobody else on the team, nobody else on the women's team, is making the talk show rounds. Did you notice that? Nobody else on the women's team. There's no interest whatsoever in the other members of the U.S. Women's soccer team because Megan Rapinoe hates Donald Trump. That's it. She also hates America. She kneeled every game for the national anthem until the very last game, the championship game. She kneeled like Colin Kaepernick, not giving any direction as to why she was doing this, what the point was. What has caused her in life to dislike the United States as founded. This is all a joke, by the way. And this is where millennials, this is why so many millennials suck. And I was thinking about this today because I'm a member of Generation X. There were the baby boomers after the Greatest Generation. Greatest Generation spawned the baby boomers, the most selfish, self-absorbed joke of the generation ever. And then came along Generation X. And now Generation X is my generation. We were the last generation to have skinned knees and not wear sunscreen. We were the last generation to not have a cell phone. We were the last generation to have 3 television channels at home. We were the last generation to be able to stay out after dark until mom shouted to get you home. Okay? We were the last generation to have had a life without video games at some point. We were the last generation who did not have a cell phone when they were children. Okay? But Generation X, we've been ignored. You know why? Because maybe this is a correction. Maybe we didn't want to be like the boomers. Maybe we didn't want to be one of those people. So we graduated from college and we went to work. And we had children. And we raised our families and we moved forward without any grandeur whatsoever. We went through our 20s. We experienced Seattle Sound, Pearl Jam, and the early days of rap and R&B, and Nirvana. And we created Lollapalooza. That was our answer to Woodstock, and it wasn't political. It was just music. And then came these millennials, and I don't know where many of them come from, but they are the first generation where everybody gets a ribbon. Where they've been taught in school that America sucks, that we've been selfish, that we are a country of slavery, we are awful. And it's gotten only worse, where all of the founders are evil white men, where Betsy Ross's flag is a sign of oppression, where people need safe spaces, where statues need to come down. And the millennial generation is the most spoiled and entitled generation of all time, yet they are the biggest effing babies whatsoever. And at this point, I'm ready to hand it over to Gen Y, which is my son and my daughter. And my son and my daughter are nothing like the millennial generation. Not one thing like Megan Rapinoe. That said, she appeared on Anderson Cooper. I mean, not on Anderson Cooper. That certainly would never happen. But she appeared on Anderson Cooper's show, and he was quite smitten. He was a smitten kitten, he was.
Yeah, okay. You can just drop the mic right now and just walk off if you want. I understand that there's never been a World Cup team that won and then went to the Olympics in back-to-back years and won. Are you aiming for 2020 Olympics?
Yes, definitely. And it's in Japan. It's going to be incredible. I love everything about Japanese culture. I think it's going to be an amazing Olympics. Hopefully, I'm lucky enough to be a part of it. Obviously, our last performance at the Olympics was...
But you have your eyes on that.
Yes, for sure.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
I feel like, everyone wants to hang out with you. I wish I could just, leave.
We can hang. I'll be back in New York next week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'll do
That'd be fun.
We'll go shopping. Stop it. Wow. No, listen. It would be fine if he didn't consider himself a journalist. Okay, that would be fine if he didn't consider himself a journalist. I had somebody cool sitting across from me, and I've interviewed thousands of people like Dave Chappelle. And hey, man, next time you're in town, let's have a drink. Or Kevin James. I had a drink with Kevin James. I said, hey, I met him in the studio, and then we met him at the. Let's go out for a drink. That was cool. I'm not a journalist. Here's this is the liberal mindset distilled, and I know this, and I love my liberal friends in Washington D.C. But honestly, I could never share what I felt because it would end up being a shouting match. And AOC or not AOC, Rapinoe has basically said all there is to say about the liberal mindset, which is they will not go. She will not go where she is going to be confronted by people who disagree with her. Okay. And by the way, she's made it very clear she's not going to visit the White House. Guess what? She hasn't been invited. She was never invited. She says she won't go. She's never been invited. Now, Jimmy Kimmel last night at a show gave her a table with 5,000 chicken nuggets on it because he knew that she'd missed the White House visit. She hasn't been invited. And Donald Trump doesn't want her there. Because she said, I am not going to the effing White House. Okay? And listen, and Megan Rapinoe has every right to do whatever. And I have every right to say, you know what? If Nike gives you a contract, I'm not going to buy your effing shoes. And I'm not going to buy Nike shoes anyway. Anyway, here she is basically saying that she's been kind of invited, I guess, by some of the a-hole Democrats. Charles Schumer has invited the team to come and visit Congress, but not the White House. It's honestly just asinine and childish. But here she is talking about how, she basically only meets with like-minded people, which is what far-left people do. They don't want to be confronted by truth or reason or an alternative point of view.
To constantly look within and challenge ourselves to be better so everyone else can be better around us.
Do you, I know you've been invited by, I think, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I think Nancy Pelosi. Shout
out AOC.
Shout out. So does that mean, is that an invitation you're taking up? Nancy Pelosi had said, you'd be welcome to a bipartisan congressional thing. Do you plan on going to Washington in one way or another?
Yes, definitely. And I think even just the conversations with the teammates that I've had, I think everyone is interested in going to Washington. I think we've always been interested in going to Washington. This is such a special moment for us, and to be able to... But
you've hijacked the team for the left. Not for the American people, but for the left. You have hijacked the team. You have just disregarded flyover country, a country that would have been otherwise quite proud of what you've done. But what you've done is you've hijacked the U.S. women's team. It's not your property. The U.S. women's team is not your property. You are just passing through. But you have decided to hijack the team for the left. And it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost the women's team.
Sort of leverage this movement and talk about the things that we want to talk about and to celebrate like this with...
How about you just talk about soccer? Because you just frickin' kick a ball around, and you run around for a couple hours, and you score twice. And people get all thrilled because you literally, you score twice in like 2 freaking hours. It is the most brutally boring game in the history of mankind. Just talk about soccer.
The leaders of our country is an incredible moment. So, yes.
As long as they're the left side of the leaders.
To AOC, yes to Nancy Pelosi, yes to the bipartisan Congress, yes to Chuck Schumer, yes to anyone else that wants to invite us and have a real substantive conversation.
About soccer. I just talk soccer. Okay, all you know is soccer. All you know is that you run around and you kick a ball and you don't touch a ball with your hands and you hit the ball with your head. That's what you do, Megan Rapinoe. Congratulations, you're a friggin' genius. Just talk about that.
Believe in the same things that we believe in.
Hold on, let's hear that again. Hold on. Here it is.
Have a real substantive conversation, and I believe in the same things that we believe in.
Okay, I want to have a substantive conversation about the things that we believe in. Wow. Wow. Honestly, there are no words. There are no words, but you know what? There are also no words for these pretzels. Well, there are actually. Delicious, mouth-watering, awesome, freaking phenomenal. These are Dots pretzels. You ever seen these pretzels? Okay, if you haven't, find them. If you live in the Midwest, I-29 corridor, going all the way up to North Dakota. Also in the Southwest Phoenix area, also in the Kansas City area. Dots pretzels are available at stores, Hy-Vee, Hen House, True Value. They are absolutely delicious. They are buttery and garlicky and maybe a little oniony, and they are phenomenal. And you will not put anything on them. You don't need mustard. I'm telling you, guys, try these pretzels. Paul Ciappa, my good friend, Friends in Service of Heroes. These pretzels are amazing. Dotspretzels.com, DOTSpretzels.com. Order some, order bags of these. Tell them that Rob Carson sent you. They are phenomenal. We got a big bag in the kitchen, and my wife brought them home the other night. We get so excited when she comes home from her second job. She works a second job. Thank you very much. White privilege at True Value, and she'll bring home pretzels. And I'm like, we just go nuts. We just go nuts. Dotspretzels.com, Dotspretzels.com. Oh, this is good. And it's not going to be all political. We got some stuff coming up here. The Lion King. The Lion King apparently is about white supremacy. They've done a live action Lion King. 5-foot-tall bagel shop owner goes crazy. He had a breakdown because he's really short. Coast Guard leaped from their boat onto a moving submarine packed with cocaine. A Kentucky Fried Chicken blows up. I'm going to show you the video. Unreal. And a Michigan couple throws a MAGA-themed wedding. But first, there's Rosie O'Donnell. She's so tasteless, tactless, awful, ugly, terrible. Just an awful, awful person. I mean, I liked her show originally when she was on. She dissolved the show on purpose. She destroyed her magazine, put a bunch of people out of work because she threw a hissy fit. She is a leftist who said she'd leave the country through several elections if Republicans won. She still manages to stay. Here is Rosie O'Donnell talking about the president and his children, inferring that basically they have a sexual relationship.
Now, there are a lot of Republicans,
Here we go.
I think even Donald Trump may be among them, who think or hope the first woman president will be Ivanka Trump. And you saw her
Lord.
just now at the G20 with him. He brought her to every meeting. Talk a little bit about Ivanka Trump and what Donald Trump is doing with her.
I don't know what he's doing with her. I think he's been doing bad things with her for a very long time. There's a creepy incest feel that is very...
This is insidious. What she just said there is insidious, and as a father of a daughter, this sickens me. You miserable, wretched, awful, unhappy, terrible woman whose ex-wife killed herself because of her. Rosie O'Donnell ruined her ex-wife's life. They had an ugly custody battle because she's an awful, wretched person, and her ex-wife ended up killing herself. Here she is again, inferring that the president has an incestuous relationship with his daughter, which is based on nothing.
There for a very long time. There's a creepy incest feel that is very prevalent amongst Donald Trump and his children, at least his daughter. Very creepy. I don't know. I think she's like, a talentless, non-intelligent, non-powerful woman, and I think it's laughable to think of her in any kind of public service role.
She is a very smart businesswoman. She is an ambassador from the White House. She is articulate, much more articulate than you wretched. I'm not going to say anything else. Want to mention that my friend Paul Ciappa has an organization called Friends in Service of Heroes. They support combat veterans. They give them service animals. They give those who are paraplegic, quadriplegic, track wheelchairs so men can feel like men again. And it doesn't have to be all just men, but soldiers who've lost limbs, soldiers who've become paralyzed. And Paul and his organization gives them track wheelchairs so they can hunt and fish and they can go off-road and they can live life and they can have a new reason for living. These track wheelchairs cost about $18,000. And Paul's organization, Friends in Service of Heroes, helps them out. Paul says they got a big old blue-on-black softball game next Saturday, T-Bone Stadium at 4 o'clock. Lots of former Royals going to be there. Oh, my goodness. Huge. So next Saturday, T-Bone Stadium at 4 o'clock. Sounds really awesome, Paul. Really awesome. Founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television. They did try that with white entertainment television, but it was wet. BET is BET is Black Entertainment. They wanted to try it with white, and it was wet, and it didn't work out very well. Robert Johnson, he founded BET Television, and he says that Donald Trump's doing a great job.
Well, I think the economy is doing absolutely great, and it's particularly reaching into populations that heretofore have had very bad problems in terms of jobs, unemployment.
He's talking about African Americans and also Hispanics, who are right now the lowest unemployment rate in the recorded history of the country. Yeah. Thank you, Donald Trump.
And the
50 years of Democrat leadership, and what have they done for the black community? Zip, zero, nada.
Opportunities that come with full employment. So African American unemployment is at its lowest level, Hispanic unemployment, women. So I give President Trump, and I've said this before on Squawk Box, I give President a lot of credit for moving the economy in a positive direction that's benefiting a large number of Americans. I think the tax cuts clearly help stimulate the economy. I think business people have a little bit more confidence in the way the economy is going.
They do.
And I think it's beginning to have some impact globally. We still have some issues to deal with the China trade negotiation issues. But overall, if you look at the U.S. economy and you look at the number of people who are no longer looking for jobs, but now sort of seeing the opportunities for job growth, you got to give the president an A+ for that.
Whoa. The president of BET says Donald Trump should get an A+. That's pretty epic. Meanwhile, the Democrat Party is focused on open borders, infrastructure spending, and increasing the minimum wage. There you go. Those things will not make America great again, kids. No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. All right, I want to mention something else, just real quick. It's a local company. Chris Marks is a friend, and he won the American Royal World Series of Barbecue 3 times. No easy task. He's got a wonderful little barbecue place in Crown Center, and he makes rubs and sauces, and he makes the best burnt-ends you've ever had in your life. He calls them beet marshmallows. Now, I'm going to tell you something, guys. They're the best thing you've ever had. They are the best thing you've ever had. Just absolutely amazing. You can go down to his barbecue joint, try those if you want 3 Little Pigs. Or you can just go to 3-little-pigs-barbecue.com and order some of these sauces and rubs. The rubs are amazing. See that brisket there? That brisket I made, that's my brisket, baby. That is my brisket. I even fanned it out there and made it look pretty. And I got to tell you, I love 3 Little Pigs rubs, and I love their sauce. Fantastic. 3-little-pigs.barbecue.com. For those of you who don't live in KC, order it, okay? Kansas City is an amazing place to live as far as food is concerned, and the sauces here are amazing. The barbecue places are amazing. It is Mecca for barbecue. It is. So a Washington Post columnist says Disney's Lion King is about white supremacy. Okay. This is a quote from a Washington Post column. Then I'm going to play the trailer for Lion King so you can see it. First thing to understand about the Lion King is that it isn't really any way about lions or any other animal species. As in every fable, a variety of cute and cuddly figures stand in for human societal organization, mapping our internalized social hierarchies onto the pristine and neutral world of the animal kingdom renders these powers dynamics natural, common sense, and desirable. What a bunch of faculty lounge mental masturbation. Dear God in heaven. This is not Animal Farm. This is Lion King. Okay? Not Animal Farm. Overtly political. It's a Disney movie, Lion King. But by using predator-prey relationships to allegorize human power, the first film almost inevitably, or the film almost inevitably, incorporates the white supremacist worldview, one in which some groups of people are inherently superior to others. So the lions are white supremacists. The lions are white supremacists. I can't make this up, man. The piece goes on to explain that the movie's really all about Donald Trump. I realize, of course, the movie came out. The movie came out in the mid-1990s. Donald Trump was not the president at the time. Quote, doubling down on Disney's historical obsession with patriarchal monarchies, it places the audience point of view squarely with the autocratic lions whose Pride Rock literally looks down upon all of society's weaker groups, a kind of Trump Tower of the African savannah. Wow, wow, wow. This person is so dour and unhappy. Can you imagine going to dinner at this person's house or even watching a movie with this person? My God in heaven. Wow. I don't even know who the columnist is. Wow. Can you imagine watching a movie with anybody who immediately, because of a Disney World, which was made 20 years ago, is suddenly about Donald Trump? Just honestly. How do you want to play the trailer? Here's a trailer, and you decide. It's getting mixed reviews. The movie's getting mixed reviews. I haven't asked my son about it. I need to have my son on because he is brilliant at analyzing movies. Here is the Lion King trailer. This is a live action. They've been doing this. They did it with Aladdin. They did it with Beauty and the Beast. I haven't seen Aladdin. I did see Beauty and the Beast. I like the cartoons better, but anyway, here is the trailer for Lion King.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark.
Jeremy Irons was better for that role.
Begging for scraps.
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
Run away, Simba, and never return.
Must take your place.
Hold on, that's Trump Tower back there.
In the circle of life.
Was that Darth Vader? James Earl Jones, where is he? There he is. All right, whatever. At this point, I like going to see movies. I enjoyed going to see movies with my son. He worked at AMC Theater. We used to get free movies. And it was a joy. And we saw a lot of movies together. I did a lot of movie premieres in Washington, D.C. when I did radio there. Now I just kind of wait for him to show up on Netflix or pay for them. Oh, and the one I watched 5 times already is Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek was amazing. My son was very critical of the movie. I thought it was marvelous. Okay, so a little 5-foot-tall guy, bagel shopper, Chris Morgan, divorced, childless guy, cleaning company owner from from Long Island. There are times that people, you'll just go off at the wrong time. All of the pressures of whatever will cause you to just go off at an inopportune time. Okay, it happens. I did a topic on a radio show about women when they just broke down crying, and it makes no sense. You're standing at the cash register or wherever, and all of a sudden it just all hits you. And this guy, he's 5 feet tall, and it would suck to be a 5-foot-tall guy just in this country right now. Yeah, it would suck to some degree. Because we a lot of size and stature. It's a big thing here, you know. And so he basically lost it. He just lost it, and then he got his ass kicked.
You're great women. Why is that okay? Why is it okay for women to say, "Oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites. You should be dead"? That's okay.
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making that shit up? Everywhere I go, I get the same smirk with the biting lip. Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss. Dude, you want to step outside? You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal. Enough. You shut up, too. Go ahead and attack me, big.
You just don't go after a guy that size.
Oh my God. Bagels.
Okay, what, really stupid.
You want to step outside? Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal. Enough. You shut up, too. Go ahead and attack me, big.
Okay, see, if you are literally, it would be like if I told Shaquille O'Neal, you want to step outside? Really stupid. Really stupid. And in that case, he needed his ass kicked. He says he sees himself as a prophet, modern Martin Luther King for people his height. Called for equality for smaller men. Said I got to the point where I'd had enough. The girls hate me. They don't like me. That's fine. Now I have a mission. I'm not stopping, and the world is going to hear me. I want equality for everybody. That's what he says. He says, I'm sick and tired of constantly being lied to and used on dates, and then they dump me. They tell me I'm too short. I can see where that would get to you after a while. I'm not tolerating it anymore. Some of those girls found it funny. That's why I have resentment towards women. I find them all to be stupid, gold-digging liars. Well, that's not going to get you anywhere. The guy's got money. It's tough. It's tough. Here's kind of cool. You know, a lot of people will say, you know, the Coast Guard. What's Coast Guard do? You know, the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard does a lot of amazing things, and their history is storied. This is eastern Pacific coast of the United States, and apparently the Coast Guard had spotted a submersible filled with cocaine. This is not uncommon to see. And this is the Coast Guard, who should be absolutely revered, going after. This is pretty fascinating footage of this guy actually jumping off a boat onto a submarine, not knowing what all's in there, knowing it is a drug-running submarine, not knowing if there are semi-automatic weapons in there or whatever. But it's a pretty amazing piece of footage.
That's gonna be hard to get on.
Watch this, man. Watch this. Unreal. There you go. Look at that. Auto DeFarco, which means get the fark out of there, I guess. I don't know what it means. I don't speak Spanish. I do have to grab this video. This is a KFC in Eden, North Carolina. I did not load it. I got to get this here real quick. This is pretty amazing. This is a video clip. This apparently at this KFC, gas had filled up the building. It was the middle of the night, and the thing exploded. I want you to watch this real quick here. I'm just going to load this real quick as we do this. Here it is. Let's bring it over here. Okay. So here's a KFC in North Carolina. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because now it's a KFC. Now it's a KFC. Wait up. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. That is a movie. Okay, that is a movie special effect. Let's look at that again, shall we, kids? Okay? All right. KFC. It's a KFC. It's a KFC. And no, it's not a KFC anymore. Unbelievable. Apparently, windows were knocked out in other people's houses around the area. There was, I guess you could say that building is extra crispy. Anyway, there it is. I thought that was kind of cool, because we talk about politics, we talk about pop culture. Look at that. Wow, there's a building next door. Look at the debris flying. That's probably like a fryer or something. That's the next door at the liquor store. Holy hell. Wow. That's something you don't see very often, folks. Only in movies. So thanks to the UK Daily Mail for the footage. And finally. I may support the president. I don't agree with everything he does. I think his policies are great. I think he's not the best person in the world and whatever. But a couple in Michigan decided to have a mega wedding. Oh, this is cute. It's cute. Whatever. It's cute. They're obviously white supremacists, racists, whatever. Anyway, Audra Lemons, Jeff Johnson tied the knot on the 4th of July. Kalamazoo is where it was. Here's a report about their mega wedding.
All the wedding party had the Make America Great Again hats.
Not the typical uniform for bridesmaids and groomsmen, but Jeff and Audra Johnson's pride in the president isn't something they want overlooked, even on their wedding day.
It looked like America threw up all over my wedding.
Nice.
And I'm not sorry.
Audra Johnson says as a little girl, she never thought about what her wedding would be like, and as an adult, she was never particularly political. That is, until Donald Trump came on the scene.
When he came out and said, it's okay to love your country. It's okay to put the people in your country first. It's okay to maybe not be politically correct.
There you go.
So they used their wedding to celebrate their love for one another and President Trump.
I really feel like because we are such a mixed family, he's African American, I'm Filipino, I thought it was really important to show people that the
I thought that African Americans and Filipinos hated Donald Trump. I guess I was wrong. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Hey, I want to thank you for joining me today. It was a real joy. If you would share this recording is going to be posted right here. It's going to be on YouTube as well. If you would share it with other people, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think I feel close to you when I do this. When I see your name show up here, I feel close to you, and I think that we can do a show here that is, I think, a pretty darn, network quality show. But you're here. You're with me. And I really do appreciate you joining me. It's immensely personal for me because I'm here in my home. I'm not in Washington, D.C., I know, right? It's a green screen, actually. But I do appreciate you joining me. I really do. If you would share my YouTube channel, just YouTube, Rob Carson Show. If you'd share my Facebook page. And also buy some shirts, okay? Look up tpublic.com, Conservatees. Will you share that? I know Rush Limbaugh's got these new Defend Betsy Ross t-shirts, and he's rocking it. And he's rocking it. Would you help me out? Pay some bills? We got some great designs. Oh, my goodness, we got some great designs. All right, guys, it's time for me to go. Just want to say take care of yourselves. I will say, I don't want to say God bless you and God bless America, because that's a little contrived. But I do want to say God bless you. Have a glorious day. And I'll see you again sometime.